Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know that coming from South Africa, you didn't want me to talk about migration because there are too many Ghanaians in South Africa to count. So I'll restrict myself to knowledge economy and mutual understanding and address three components. One is knowledge economy, as has just been discussed by the previous speaker, and mutual understanding, and then the role of universities and the media. I will only provide a summary because of lack of time. My thesis in this contribution is that wide disparities in the attainment of knowledge-based economies in the tri-continent hamper mutual understanding, and that deliberate efforts should be pursued by institutions of higher learning and media organizations to address the deficit for the benefit of the initiative. Now, economic benefits of the tri-continental initiative cannot be realized without a thorough commitment to the use of knowledge technologies that are transforming many economies throughout the world. It is not a new phenomenon that industrialized countries are transiting very fast to become knowledge-based economies, depending mostly on services. The challenges, however, are that some parts of the Americas and most parts of Africa are still struggling under labor-intensive agricultural policies and practices that do not project any transition even to the industrialized economy. Where this takes an ambitious tri-continental initiative is that most members subscribing to the initiative may be left behind in the construction of an information society in which the creation, distribution, diffusion, use, and integration of information ought to be considered a very significant activity, economic, political, and cultural. There is no doubt that effective and strategic use of technical knowledge has determined in large part the levels of economic development in various countries. In the three regions of the tri-continent, there are different stages of scientific and technical development, which inform the various ways in which the understanding of issues can be exploited. How, therefore, can there be mutual understanding when there are large disparities in economic, technical, and information dispositions? In my own country, Ghana, for example, despite the commitment of government to prepare the country for the global information society, penetration of the new media is estimated at only 3%. Most universities in Ghana, 4 public and about 30 private, are offering courses in the humanities, the arts, business, science, and technology, but we still have a long way to go to raise our position in the information and communication revolution. The African University College of Communications, where I have the privilege of being president, has set itself the onerous responsibility of offering courses that are focused on addressing the challenges, some of which we are discussing in this forum. And we will welcome partnerships from the tri-continent to advance our vision. Talking about our media institutions, we have 4 television stations, 1 public, 3, the rest, 7 television stations, 1 public, 6 private, 120 FM broadcast stations, mainly private, and about 40 newspapers and magazines, also mainly private. But we devote more space in debating political party issues as opposed to economic and technological challenges. I'm aware that the situation is not different in other African countries south of the Sahara, if I may use the term. My contention is that institutions of higher learning and media organizations have a responsibility to reduce the gap and ensure appropriate economic exploitation of that mutual understanding. I propose, therefore, the following: that media organizations in the tri-continent should place on their high priority agenda the business of enhancing the significance and the need for a tri-continental initiative. 2, media organizations with the capacity to reorient and manage the minds of our people should exchange and publish information on their various countries in special areas such as the importance of adopting policies that advance scientific and technical knowledge in this age of information and communication revolution. Media organizations should also support civil society calls for the digitization and informatization of public and private activities that will increase productivity. Institutions of higher learning have even a greater role of taking inventory of human resource capabilities in their countries vis-à-vis knowledge economy and information society, and designing academic and professional programs to pursue the urgent needs of society. Also, universities, the media, and intellectuals should collaborate to increase awareness for lifelong scientific and technical learning that will make use of the rapidly changing knowledge base throughout the world. And governments in the tri-continent who have not done so should invest massively in science and technical education, software development, content development, and service delivery. Conclusion, Mr. Chairman, I submit that scholars, government, civil society, private and public entrepreneurs in the tri-continent should communicate regularly to exchange views, experiences, and opinions in this day of knowledge and skilled workers. Universities and the media should produce and disseminate technical and scientific education and information in the quest to prepare adequate skilled manpower for our economies. Knowledge economies can only be built upon information, education, technical know-how, and reliable databases. And finally, that mutual understanding will be closer to realization when our economies are mutually able to respond to the constant changes being experienced every day. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.